Everyone, it's me, Shemp, and today we're going to be talking about something a little bit different. We're going to be talking about one singular fan game. Now, fan games are amazing, especially Sonic ones. Some of my favorite Sonic experiences have been from fan games, and yes, I do include Sonic Mania in that category. The game we'll be looking at today is called Sonic Omens, a very, very ambitious fan game with a sprinkle of weird controversy in it. We're headed down a very odd rabbit hole, so buckle up, because it's gonna get bumpy.
So right off the bat, what is Sonic Omens? Originally called Sonic 2020, Omens is a fan game demo created by Ouroboros Studio. The entire game is running off of the Infinity Engine, which is running off of the Unreal Engine. So what I can gather is the Infinity Engine is just an Unreal Engine project with ready-to-move assets for other Sonic fan games. So if you've played any other fan game with the Infinity Engine presets, then this one will feel familiar to you. I can tell you that initial impressions of the game are very good. Then they quickly drop to very bad. Obviously, I'll start with the good. This is one of the few fan games that has fully animated and voiced cutscenes. That's extremely impressive. As weird and as janky as they are, it's still very well done. I can tell a lot of love went into some of the poses and whatnot because I recognize them. The voice acting though is just so, you know, Sonic sounds good. Like it sounds like Sonic, an older version of Sonic, but still Sonic. But it seems like the actor doing the voice was directed to only do that voice with no emotional range. Every line from Sonic sounds almost the same.
We got pretty lucky with the tree breaking her fall.
You had an agreement, Sonic. Remember?
Yeah, on guarding the temple, not all of this. All right. Go on ahead. I'll catch up with you.
What's that? My wife is dead? And my daughter! I'm on my way!
Then there's everyone else. No disrespect at all, I love the range of the voice actors, but I think a few characters should have been either recasted or directed better.
You could have come to my office and said hi.
Didn't have enough time. Where's the objective's location? Goosh, I don't feel the presence of an emerald inside this temple. Doctor has beaten us to it.
You see what I mean? Very uncanny, but nothing that's a showstopper. Since there's fully animated cutscenes, that must mean that there's an overarching story, right? Well, I think so? I don't really know what's happening. The game starts with Tails coming in to inform Sonic that Eggman is evil. What? So they run out to the edge of the house and fly off, and as you can see, Tails has been pumping some mad iron, bro, cause holy shit, he's carrying Sonic around 5 islands by himself. Then Tails flies into a storm for some reason and they get attacked. So this chain of events just kind of happens throughout the game. Stuff just happens with no build-up or meaning, and then they transition into the next level. After that, they go to Eggman's old base, fight a robot, then go to a desert area and find a big monster from the Chaos Emerald. It's honestly just nonsense throughout. The cutscenes feel like they're here just to show that they have cutscenes. Don't get me wrong, it's nice eye candy. I love seeing the action and cinematography in certain areas. It's really nice. Just, well, I don't get it. In terms of presentation, the game is very pretty. Granted, it is running off of the Unreal Engine, so it's doing a lot of the workload already, but you need a team to understand what they're doing in order to get this kind of result. The music is also really well done. I think my favorite track is this one for Chow Paradise. The music in the beginning parts of the game really get you going and make you want to go fast. That's a huge compliment for a Sonic game too. If your music in-game makes the player want to blast off, then you've succeeded. One of the main issues though is the performance. Good god damn. You thought Cyberpunk was unoptimized? You've seen nothing yet. Most of my footage is the pause menu because I'm trying to understand what the hell is causing the technical issues. See, I'm all about quality, so if my footage is lagging, then that's unacceptable. Here are my PC specs. I can run just about anything I need to at max settings with no problem, but even on 2080 cards, this game still runs like ass. There's even a sticky note in the first cutscene that says, "Don't forget to optimize." Now let's talk about that gameplay. The best way I can describe it is to imagine Sonic Adventure with a boost button. Sounds odd at first, combining two very different Sonic gameplay formulas together, but it does work. Kind of. See, I personally love this concept. Mixing the two together gives you really good control over your character and makes the boost seem more like an optional feature rather than something you have to do like in Sonic Unleashed or Generations. It's more so there to complement the level design when it's needed. You don't have to rely on it much at all, honestly. Sonic does control like a dream, but that doesn't really help with the control scheme. Since you control both Sonic and Shadow in this game, the control scheme had to be adjusted to meet both characters' abilities since Shadow does more than Sonic. For example, in order to boost, you press the right trigger. I'm sure everyone who speedruns Generations just got a huge headache after hearing that. Everything else is the same though. In terms of Shadow's gameplay, he can change his chaos attacks with the D-pad and then aim with the X button. It's a very odd control scheme, but I got somewhat used to it. So, here's the problem. With how pretty it is, how tight the controls are, how amazing the presentation can be, it just doesn't work. You know, everyone bitched and moaned about how automated Sonic Forces was, yet this game completely removes automation and it's so much worse. See, there's a reason Sonic games have automated sections. Forces was all automation, so that strips gameplay away from the player. Omens has no automation, so the player has to handle every single thing by themselves. Sonic Generations and Unleashed, for example, took care of certain sections for you because controlling it directly just wouldn't work. But in those games, you were still able to play the game for 98% of the level, the 2% being like a rail grinding section or a big loop or something. In Omens, if you see any sort of level design that isn't a straight piece of ground, then just fucking pray. All you can do is hope that the game works. It doesn't help that a lot of the level design is just atrocious. My favorite part about speedy Sonic games is the part where you wait a bunch and you think about shit and maybe call your mom or something and, you know, maybe go get some lunch, maybe add a milkshake because it tastes real good. Then go fucking go! With games like Generations and Unleashed again, the levels are designed around the boost button. That's why there's always long stretches of level that can hop in and out of the foreground. Games like Sonic Adventure are designed around Sonic's movement. That's why Sonic can easily move around big areas and quickly get back on track. With Omens, it tries to do both, but the level design doesn't mix well together like the gameplay does. You'll have long stretches of land like in Generations, but then immediately get thrown into an adventure-style arena with little to no control on what's happening. With how fast you're going, you have no time to realize you need to quickly change playstyles. I can say that the absolute worst part of the game are the levels, hands down. I can get past the janky voice acting and whatnot, but good lord, these levels are bad. Don't get me started on the Tails section. Again, really neat concept. You take control of Tails' plane in an attack formation or something, and you pilot around these levels solving puzzles and shooting down robots. It's cool, but again, it controls like ass. Not to mention that the enemies with lasers will fucking mow you down in the blink of an eye, even if you dash away. It's extremely unbalanced and, dare I say, untested? The biggest annoyance for me is that the homing attack is camera specific, meaning you have to meet a very specific list of things in order for it to work properly. If there's something directly in front of you and the camera is facing it, you can do the homing attack. If something is directly in front of you and the camera is not facing it, you can't do the homing attack. This was a problem Sonic Forces had, but it seems to be more strict here. In other Sonic games, you could do the homing attack off camera by aiming the stick in any direction of the enemy. Here, if you miss the enemy or a spring, then you're shit out of luck. So let's wrap this part up. The game is not good. It's like a modern day Sonic 06. Really great ideas in an extremely buggy form. Now, Shemp, I hear you say, this is a fan game, let alone a demo. Why are you being so harsh? And you're right, Lawrence. It is a demo for a fan game, but my bar of quality immediately rises when there's money involved. That's right, welcome to the controversy. So here's the rundown. This game's updated builds were periodically released online through Patreon. Indirectly, as you want to argue, this game was receiving funding, which is illegal. Here's what we're working with. Every single piece of visual work in this game is owned entirely by Sega. The models, the animations, the set pieces, textures, sound effects, objects, literally everything including the goddamn title is Sega property. Sonic is an IP created and owned by Sega Sammy Holdings. You cannot make profit off of this game in any way because you do not own anything. The only thing they can argue that they own is the soundtrack, and even that's pushing it since there's remixes of other Sonic game music in it. Now, usually Sega is pretty chill with fan creations because they're released for free. It's a community project for the community. Sega promotes this behavior quite a bit, but when there's money involved, then it gets a bit more dicey. Sonic Omens is essentially competing with every official Sonic game on PC since it's being funded. This is a big no-no. Another big no-no is if the team is profiting off of this game without purchasing the Unreal commercial license. Essentially, there's a version for personal use and professional use. If you use the personal build to make a large amount of profit off of it, then Epic Games can also sit next to Sega in court. Now, the team behind the game, Ouroboros, is a Russian development team, so I'm not sure how the legal IP court system works in Russia, so I can't really say what will happen because Sega does know about this project. Whether or not they'll act upon it is on them, but if things escalate, then this could be really bad for other fan games and modders. I don't think Sega's gonna pull a Nintendo and DMCA every other fan game, but this does paint the community into a bad light because everyone online knows about this game mainly for the controversy. In conclusion, don't bother with Sonic Omens. It's a neat concept with imaginative minds, but in its current state of bugginess and the demand for Patreons, it's not worth your time. So, with all that said, I'll see you all in the next video.